Hello, everybody, and welcome to another episode of Too Weird Didn't Watch, the show where we make fun of movies that we have not seen based on nothing but their weird descriptions.
I'm Brantley.
And I'm Albert. Brantley is bringing us our movies for this week. Brantley, what did you got?
All right, well, I don't have a movie.
Oh, no, Brantley's bringing us our thing, whatever the thing is.
Continue our theme for last night is... No, I don't do those, though I should. But continue our thing for last week, we are doing an anime.
Okay.
But you know what we don't cover enough on the show?
Big robots?
Accurate for life, but not in this context now.
What do we not cover enough on this show?
Dinosaurs.
That is accurate. There's not enough dinosaur movies.
Also accurate.
I love dinosaur movies, but...
There's what? Jurassic Park, Carnivores, and then like a D-grade movie every couple of years?
Yeah, there's some like claymation stuff from the 70s that's there's like really watchable.
Dinosaur and stuff like that. Yeah, there is stuff, but...
It's not as common as you would think. And then there's a lot of stuff like from the recent years, like in the vein of Velocipaster, that is just, made by people like us who happen to get a DSLR and, a 30-day subscription to After Effects. But what do you have, Brantley?
I have Jurassic Tripper, also called Jura Tripper.
No. What? No.
It has both names.
Okay.
Depending on where you go. And it's from 1995. This is a Japanese animated series loosely based on the novel 2 Years Vacation by Jules Verne.
I didn't know Jules Verne did dino fiction. I know H.G. Wells, I think, wrote...
It says
Lost
loosely.
World?
I don't know how loosely.
But like Jules Verne wrote about some guy who went off to like the south of France for 2 years and grew wine, and they're like, but with dinosaurs, because we're Japan, I guess. I don't think they went that far, Brantley. I assume there must be dinosaurs in the source material.
Probably.
I can't imagine. But I haven't heard of this. I've never heard of 2 Years Vacation, and I'm pretty familiar with Jules Verne.
2 days a year, the members of a typical high school's marine club are allowed to take the boat out during summer vacation. Their destination is the fun-filled Bonaral Island. It's filled with fun. Until a mysterious storm-related disturbance throws them into...
Storm-related? What?
I don't know what that means.
It's
another magic whirlpool. They're going to go to a place with the Warriors of Virtue. Anyways, storm-related disturbance throws them into another dimension full of dinosaurs and oppressive soldiers.
Why couldn't the dinosaurs have just been on... Okay, here's what I'm going to think. I'm going to assume Jules Verne wrote this. It was just they landed on an island with dinosaurs.
Yeah.
Maybe crashed through a storm. But since this was made in 95, they're like... Sadly, there aren't any islands with dinosaurs. We're pretty sure we have to have them in another dimension. And oppressive soldiers, I guess,
yes.
Because you got to have somebody to fight. You don't want to fight the dinosaurs. They're awesome.
So the group of children is transported to what is later revealed as the planet Noah. A strange
like
world.
The biblical character? Is that how it's spelled?
Okay. A strange world that holds both human inhabitants on the scientific level of the Middle Ages, which is an odd way to phrase that, as well as various types of dinosaurs. They quickly make friends with talking pterosaur, Zans, and Manuana. M-A-N-U-A.
I had missed that the dinosaurs were talking, Brantley.
Well, it's a talking pterosaur, and this is the first time talking prehistoric animals have showed up. So
I'm sorry, that's not a dinosaur.
It's not. An inhabitant of Noah who helps them out on more than one occasion. So 2, 3...
78.
Occasionally. Every day. It's literally carrying them through this adventure.
I've had a meal with my wife on more than one occasion.
I've gone to sleep on more than one occasion. I've taken a breath on more than one occasion.
My heart has beat on more than one occasion.
My synapses have fired occasionally.
Let's not take this too far, Brantley.
Okay. While attempting to return home, they encounter talking dinosaurs, revolutionaries, pirates, a princess, and primitive scientists.
Well, okay. Let's see if I... So you said they encounter talking dinosaurs, pirates, a princess, and primitive scientists.
And revolutionaries.
Okay, I missed the revolutionaries. I knew there was one I missed.
Which I think they're trying to revolt against the oppressive soldiers we previously mentioned. But in my head, it's just straight up like American revolutionaries there for some reason. Because now it's like Land of the Lost or that one island from Jurassic the Hunted.
It's the scene in Sharknado, the last Sharknado. It's about time when they hang out with George Washington and they fight the sharks. But
they do that. That's awesome.
They do, yeah.
The children learn more about the new world they're in, discovering the people and dinosaurs suffer from oppression from the king, as well as the church prohibition of science.
All right. The dinosaurs are big on science, but the church won't let them be. This is a weird...
The human church. I think that dinosaurs just talk and eat each other, which always raises questions. They wound up in the land before time. They get into conflict with General Mozar, who is interested in their advanced technology from 1995, and consequently have to flee from the king's army, as well as the priest who tried to capture Zans, who incidentally is the son of White Wing, the famous but past leader of the rebellion. That was kind of a run-on-sentence.
Yeah, also, don't be throwing shade at 1995. Compared to the Middle Ages, technology's amazing.
That's fair.
If I had to pick one of the places to live, having lived in 1995 for about a year... I would.
Yes, but what technology would they be taking to a beach island that would be amazing from 1995? A Walkman?
CD players, man.
Cool. When those batteries die, this is going to be real impressive. Look at this thing. If it had power, it would be cool.
That's never a problem in these shows.
That's not.
It's not, yeah.
It's like that one Whoopi Goldberg movie where she somehow has access to the internet in
I was going to say,
times.
we literally have the same problem right now. What are we going to do? Go back to George Washington and be like, look at this black rectangle made out of glass and a material you haven't heard of. I can make it light up for about, a day, and then it'll just be impressed.
Accurate. So batteries last a little bit longer now.
Well, I mean, if you
much,
leave it on for maybe 2 days, and then you're done.
You
so
go.
I guess you turning it on and off to boy, I hope the battery doesn't decay before I get out of here for some reason.
Yeah, unfortunately, despite me scouring the internet, I can find 0 episode descriptions.
Oh, no.
None.
Okay.
None on IMDb, none on animeblogs.com or whatever it was. Nothing. So we're going to move on.
Okay.
2 more Japanese anime dinosaurs. This one is a movie, My Tyrano, Together Forever, from 2018.
Oh, man. The fact that it was from 2018. I was originally like, is this a love story between a girl and a dinosaur? Probably. And then you said 2018. I was like, yeah, everything goes now.
There is literally a manga series called My Girlfriend is a T-Rex.
All right.
I haven't read it.
I haven't. Okay.
I looked at it and I'm like, that's hilarious, but I'm good. Anyways, the strongest carnivore on Earth, a tremendous Tyrannosaurus who does not eat meat, and a pterodactyl who cannot fly.
Into that new Impossible Burger.
He runs into her.
Oh.
And they begin the journey to find paradise. While on their way, they learned about...
I gotta say, no. If you're a person who can't fly and a weirdo outcast Tyrannosaurus, paradise is not for you.
Well, what's interesting is he is the strongest carnivore on Earth and doesn't eat meat, so he's eating a lot of beans or something to get that protein.
I guess.
He's wiping out whole forests.
Soy.
While on their way, they learn about each other's difference and become important to each other. So it is a love story.
Yeah.
And that's adorable and kind of gross.
It's stupid. It's really stupid.
It could be platonic love.
Okay.
It's probably not, but it could be.
Though, is what I'm saying. They just... I don't get this at all. I don't understand literally anything about this. There's no... It's not in some of the animes, it's a weird, what is the anime where the girl is, adopted by death and she's into him, but he's, super old? But at least they're human there. You can sort of be yes, I understand human features and find some of them attractive. But, if these are 2 dinosaurs, there's no desire on my part to see anything happen there. If one of them was a human, then I could understand, okay, I have a surrogate, a dog in this fight. If they're both dinosaurs and you're going to do a romance and you're going to have them be biologically impossible because they don't eat meat and don't fly, I don't know. Does she have a broken wing or does she just choose not to?
She, from what I briefly saw, her wings, she has 6 limbs. Her wings just kind of hanging off on her back. And then he has a horns, which T-Rex don't have, but that's just splitting hairs.
Yeah, he could be a Carnotaurus, right?
He has a central horn.
Oh.
So, a Ceratosaurus.
I don't know that one by name. I'm sorry.
A very tiny T-Rex with a horn on its face.
Okay.
Briefly showed up in Jurassic Park 3 when everybody's digging through the poo pile.
I've forgotten about Jurassic Park 3 almost
That is
completely.
the correct response.
There's the pretty good Spinosaurus attack at the beginning.
And then he busts through a metal gate, and then he's stopped by a wooden door.
Yeah, I don't think I watched that far. I tried to watch it recently, and I was got past maybe 20 minutes.
It's
and
real bad.
Gave up. Didn't need to go back to it.
I'm amazed where we'll get made after that.
Well, we had some time. And they were like, we're going to go back to like what the original was about. And they didn't. They lied.
I mean, they kind of did. They also went back to the first island because like that island got dumb.
Yep.
And then the official word is that everybody died on the island, like in the book. Anyways.
I don't remember enough to say anything about that.
In the book, they point out that there are way too many carnivores on the island for the amount of herbivores.
Oh, because they're...
And then especially in the movie, because then you have T-Rex, Raptor, Spinosaurus, Ceratosaurus, and like one or two other things.
And then it's those like... And really... also we have 2 Stegosaurus.
Well, there's a whole family of Stegosaurus.
Are there? I don't remember seeing a bunch of them. I remember there's a lot of Parasaurolophus. I'm so sorry. Yeah, there's a lot of them.
It's a word made of 2 languages we don't speak. It's fine.
So we see their stampede. I think that's them. That have the stampede. And there's like couple of giant like brachiosaurs.
There's a Patasaurus, and then you see Brachiosaurs once in that movie.
I don't know. I can't tell you the difference between a Patasaurus
and a Brachiosaurus. Fun fact, though, from the first movie, Brachiosaurus, the only dinosaur from the Jurassic era in Jurassic Park.
Is the Brachiosaurus the one that wakes them up by eating the branches when they're sleeping in the tree?
It's that one. It's the one that does the big dramatic stand-up, the first dinosaur we see proper in the movie.
Okay, I thought that might have been a Apatosaurus.
No, Apatosaurus shows up in the second one first. And then it's also the ones that are slaughtered by the Indominus in 4.
Yeah. I need to watch 4 again. It's not great, but I need to watch it again. It's a pretty good movie. I'll give you pretty good. It is more entertaining
than 2, and it is much better than 3 and 5. And has less logical flaws than 1, but 1 is a better movie overall.
Are we in agreement that 5 is the worst?
Yes.
Okay.
By a massive margin.
I mean, 3 is pretty bad, too.
3 is bad, but I can at least watch 3, and I don't hate myself afterwards. I just hate the movie a little bit. 5, I'm mad at myself for putting myself through it.
Okay, fair enough.
It's like The Grudge. The final one we have is another show, this time from the ancient era of 1979.
Well, that was 6 whole years before I was born, Brantley, so it's ancient history.
Yeah. Age of the Great Dinosaurs.
32.
An ecologically themed anime, Age of the Great Dinosaurs opens with live-action footage of Tokyo's crowded, pollution-clogged streets intercut with cartoon dinosaurs rampaging through the prehistoric past.
What?
So it has shots of like smog and people rushing through the streets, and then intercut with that is a T-Rex fighting.
Look at how terrible things are.
Look at the great peaceful past, and it's just a T-Rex ripping someone's head off.
Yeah, I mean, it's all nature.
Yeah. Our young hero, June, is horrified to see a construction crew lay waste to flowers and trees.
You know, I'm going to say this. Like, nobody gets mad when a termite builds a mound, but a second a human builds a city, all of a sudden, that's not nature.
In fairness, our cities are a lot bigger than the termite cities.
Well, yeah, we're a lot bigger than termites.
Yes.
In size. It might still be proportionally bigger, but I'm saying there's like this weird sort of assumption that, like, man is not part of the natural order, to the point where we, like...
Kind of not.
How so?
We're not from this continent that we're currently living on, for one.
Okay, neither are the rabbits in Australia?
No, and they're a massive ecological problem. They built a fence across the continent to try to fix it.
I'm aware of it. I just talked about that in my other podcast. Just now. Like, earlier this week. But I'm saying, like, that's still... Like, now the rabbits are over there, then, like, the predators rely on them, and so if you get rid of them completely, then that also crashes the ecology.
That's because they murdered, like, 50% of the species, and they're within 10 years of white people being on the continent. We screwed up Australia real good. The ones that are left are the super deadly ones.
Yep.
That's why it's a nightmare world. We made that.
Well, we didn't want... the interesting thing about the rabbits was, that, like, they wanted stuff to hunt, and apparently... They were like, there's not enough cool stuff to hunt in Australia, which is a real bad take, in my opinion.
I think it was more like there's not enough things that we can hunt that is challenging that won't also murder us.
Okay.
So, rabbits. Anyways, our young hero, June, read that? A sensitive lad, he muses on the damage being done to the environment. Strange lights in the sky lead June to the beach, where he meets pretty Remy and her bratty brother, Chobi.
Wait, so we got UFOs now?
A huge, talking UFO, whose spectacular entrance is modeled on that of the mothership from Close Encounters of the Third Kind, transports the inquisitive kids back to the Cretaceous period to learn some harsh lessons about humanity's past, present, and possible future. Explain the long con with this education.
Okay, the UFO takes them back and is like, look at this place when humans won't show up for millions and millions of years. Mm-hmm. Everything went extinct. What's the lesson there? Like, I mean, it wasn't our fault. That one definitely
that one's not on us.
Definitely was not on us.
That was a space rock, and the planet was already kind of dying.
Lots of stuff has gone extinct.
Our child heroes discover a batch of friendly, newly hatched Triceratops and flee a scary, red-eyed Tyrannosaurus Rex, dubbed with Godzilla's roar.
Okay, so I have a question about this. We opened up with live action and then intercut to animated. Are we thinking that our heroes are live action back in animated times, Mary Poppins style?
Ooh, that's maybe, but that makes it real rough.
You thinking like it's not done that well?
Yeah.
They could be like the sort of time vortex could make them animated?
Maybe. Like the Page Master a little bit?
Yeah. Yeah, that's where I've seen that before.
Except even less like explained.
It's a UFO.
Okay.
They're going back in time. You don't know what they look like. Dinosaurs could have looked cell shaded.
And a gruesome touch you won't find in American cartoons. He gobbles all the babies, save for one, before being gorely speared in the eye by plucky little Chobi.
I fully accept this rip on American cartoons. It is fully earned, and I'm glad to hear that they have done things differently.
Caught in a time warp, as their baby Triceratops rapidly grows to adulthood, the kids journey forward to see tectonic plates shift, volcanoes explode, ice caps melt, and mankind evolve from tiny mammals into Cro-Magnon caveman.
Again, all of those like seemingly negative things, not our fault.
Yeah, no, humans have just shown up in the story.
This is a weird ecological lesson. Like, the only thing that I can think that they might be teaching them is, hey, you're not going to be around forever either as a species, so don't get too cocky, I guess. But then it's just like, well, eat, drink, and be merry, for tomorrow we shall die.
Yes.
Like, I don't know what his responsibility is to the lesson of, you know, your species is temporary too, man.
Chobi falls in love with a little cave girl and intervenes when her mother is offered in sacrifice to the monster by a crazed skull-masked midget priest, the monster being a still surviving T-Rex.
Yeah, I can't fault that. It's like, it's fun.
But the problem is, except for the UFO, this is trying to be like semi-realistic.
Yeah.
But then it's also, this one T-Rex somehow lived and they're just sacrificing people to it because it's scary.
I just love the like Skull Island thing so much. I get it. I get that it's stupid. Yeah, that too. I'm just thinking of the specific like natives on Skull Island.
Oh, okay.
Sacrificing things to these otherworldly ancient beasts that precede them that have somehow survived for as long as they have.
Anyways, Chobi, he's interfering with, crazed skull masked midget priest. But when Chobi throws his spear, Ishinormi...
It's a named spear. He killed a dinosaur with it. Or shot... Maybe he didn't killed it, but like...
I'm thinking it's the name of the UFO, because it cuts to a montage of war, atomic bombs, and contemporary violence, which hints this little boy embodies not just mankind's indomitable spirit, but also its appetite for self-destruction.
This is so stupid.
It's really heavy-handed and dumb.
Well, it's dumb because it's like, you showed us animals, like, unthinking, amoral, like, they are absolutely a part of nature, eating each other and engaging in violence, and then you're like, but when humans do it, it's scary.
I mean, the destruction is, playing devil's advocate, it's showing warfare, which kind of not necessary.
What is the point in human history where like warfare became unnecessary? Because it was definitely necessary at some point.
Anytime it was for religious reasons or based on racial hating. It was to gather resources for your people to survive, then yes. But for the last 150 years, war has been completely unnecessary.
Well, war has been also a lot more deadly.
Devastating, yes.
Right. So the thing is, humans' proclivity to war, I think you can't get away from. There's no simulation of history you can run that looks anything like people that gets you people not fighting over like just stuff.
That's accurate.
But then you get to a certain point where people start developing technology, and all of a sudden the technology of war explodes very, very rapidly. I mean, I'm not talking like chariots of iron kind of explosion. When you get to guns, then suddenly your ability to kill people increases exponentially, but you're still just, people.
Mm-hmm.
And then, like, it feels like that doesn't make sense, which I think we're seeing the continued evolution of into guerrilla warfare and proxy warfare by nation states that are too big to risk going directly to war with each other. Although I don't know that we can say that that's like we're in the clear yet, because I think people thought that they were safe before World War One.
Yeah.
Like, and then after World War One, they're like, we're definitely not doing that again. And then World War Two happened.
I mean, while it's going on, they call it the war to end all wars.
Yeah.
And then, the big budget sequel happened.
Which is really World War One Part 2.
Yeah.
Like, it's definitely Germany being like, we lost that. We really don't like how you guys treated us. And we
lost everyone else. Other people lost too, but we got screwed over the most.
Yeah, like, we lost all of our guys, and we, got slapped with all these sanctions and stuff, and Hitler, is able to rouse up like, hey, we're Germany. We're awesome. How dare those people treat us like this? And then, we get World War II.
Nah.
No, you don't think?
No, I agree with you. I just had a thought, and it was too politically charged.
Oh, well, it's tricky to say anything about Germany in World War II because we've morphed them into the cartoon bad guys.
I actually had a conversation with a German hitchhiker about that.
Yeah?
This is like a year ago, so I don't remember most of it because I have a horrible memory. Anyways, the monster's death is not triumphant, but mournful. It ends on a warning for mankind's future, leaving poor June even more worried than before.
Yeah, okay. I guess good for him. And that's it?
Yeah, no, it ends with sadness.
Better not be human, guys. Watch out for that.
I, for one, am looking forward to Robot Overlords. Maybe they'll get this figured out. Hopefully we'll still be around for that.
I'm sure I've mentioned this in the past, but I'm watching a great YouTube series called Awakening from the Meaning Crisis, and the most recent episode of that, he talked about the fact that humans assimilate every technology that they encounter, and his opinion is that AI is going to be no different. It's not going to be like the AI is something that's out there. It's going to be something that we use as a tool and make it a part of us to enhance our abilities to operate even better.
I mean, debatably, we already do that with things like Siri and digital assistants.
Well, that was the other point. He's like, it's also not like one day somebody's going to flip the switch and there's going to be AI. It's going to be this gradual change that we are currently in the middle of, and arguably have been since at least the 1960s when computers were a thing.
We're the fun, laughy podcast about shows we haven't seen. We can't get all deep and serious. This is about dinosaurs in Japan today, man.
I don't know what I'm doing. I'm so sorry. This is a problem. Anyway, we'll see you guys.
You brought us to robots and World War II.
We appreciate everybody's listening. I'll probably edit quite a bit of that out. But if you haven't subscribed to the podcast by whatever podcast platform you're receiving us on, we'd appreciate it if you do that. You should also tell a friend about us, or if you don't have a friend, leave us a review on iTunes. That really helps us expand our reach, if you do the iTunes thing anyway. And we'll see you guys next time.
Bye, guys.
Bye.